as well, because when they do a video like on YouTube, if they say the truth about Andrew Tate, I can look at the thumbnail and by one glance of the man or woman, I can tell if it's pro or anti. You can just tell. A guy who has his life together is cool every single time. A beautiful woman on my side every single time. Every dude who's like bitter and upset and sad and overweight or some ugly chick, they're hating on me. So hate never comes from above. And if you're truly unhappy with yourself and you're truly not confident, then you're going to hate the people who are. You're jealous. Jealousy is a huge driving factor. I like to believe that humans are quite apathetic. We don't really give a shit. And to see someone else and be so viscerally enraged by them, to be so angry at them, there has to be a driving force, which is something like jealousy. Otherwise, you're just like, oh, whatever. Why would they care what I say? I don't talk to these people. Why do they care what I say? And worst of all, it's hard to take advice from people who are sad. So give an example. I said depression wasn't real and the world lost its mind. And I sat there, even Piers was arguing with me on it. And I said, listen, this isn't even about real or fake. This isn't about true or not. You're looking at it in the wrong paradigm. I'm explaining to you that I'm a human who gets to live one life, hopefully more, but let's say one life. And I'm going to adopt a mindset that gives me the optimum human experience. I'm going to believe in things that make me powerful. I'm not going to believe in anything that takes power away from me. The reason I don't say depression is real, the reason I don't believe in it is that, heaven forbid, the worst things on earth happen to me. I can never be clinically depressed because I don't believe it's a real thing. I can't be haunted by a ghost if I don't believe in ghosts. I said this before on another podcast. If you have two men in different haunted houses, one believes in ghosts, one doesn't. The one who doesn't believe in ghosts is going to sleep just fine. The one who does, he's the one giving power to the fear. He's the one who's going to be afraid of it. So I'm saying, why would I believe in depression? Because if I believe in it, I have to be fearful of it and it might strike me and get me down. If I believe in feeling depressed sometimes, but knowing I'll get better, then I'm okay, right? But if I believe in the clinical idea of becoming depressed and having depression and not being able to get rid of it, then I'm not going to be okay. So I said, I don't believe in it. I refuse to believe in it. And when I said this, a whole bunch of depressed people started attacking me. And I was sitting there going, why would I want to adopt the thinking of someone who is sad? You just told me you can't, you're suicidal.
Life habits.
Completely. And this is why this whole idea of clinical depression is so dangerous, right? Because you're telling these people, oh, you have a disease. It's not your fault. No, it is your fault. It's absolutely not really your fault. If I lived your existence, I'd be depressed. Your life's shit. Like, and especially in the world we live in today, and especially for a man, most men have very, very depressing existences. It's easy for us all to sit here in Abu Dhabi, right? You're fighting the UFC. We're all somebodies. You're on YouTube. We're running around with money, whatever. If you're Joe Schmo in the modern world as a dude, it's fucking depressing. Of course you're depressed. I get it, but you can't sit there and believe you have a disease. You have to accept that there's a lifestyle you need to change, and that gives you power. And then these are the people who attack us, right? Because they're unhappy. And when you're truly unhappy, you want to spread it. It's unhappiness is kind of like a disease. Misery loves company, right? Hurt people. It's absolutely true. Well, completely. That's feeling depressed. I believe in that, absolutely. But I don't believe in having a clinical disease. I mean, losing a family member and being upset about it, that's absolutely not really healthy. Like, we've all been through that. But saying I now have a clinical disease, I don't know. I just don't understand this link where they're saying that you feel sad because of a scenario and that's now somehow a disease.
I think it comes down to self-discipline too, because I know a lot of people that are just, it's pathetic. They just don't have self-discipline, and at any level. But there's levels to self-discipline. But I feel like that's where real happiness comes from, is self-discipline. I'm gonna go on this fucking run in the morning. I don't really want to, but I know I'm gonna fucking get this high from it. I'm gonna eat a healthy breakfast. I'm gonna start the day right, and that's gonna carry on. I think for me, I heard you say one time too, and I don't know if it was serious or if I took it out of context, but waking up and grabbing your phone first thing in the morning, you open to the portal. Do you believe that?
Oh, 100%.
For me, I believe in starting your day off a little slower. I hit a 10-minute morning meditation every morning. I go outside, get my sunlight, hydrate with some water, and take a good amount of time before I look at my phone. That's just how I have to operate, because for me, I look at my phone first thing. I can feel like anxiety kind of.
And it's anxiety, and you're right. And it's deciding the reality you want, and you're completely true about the anxiety. So like, if I was still pro fighting, it'd be different. Now my life, even now, I'll admit, my life is an anxious life. Like I have smartphones as a whole and social media as a whole to a degree are poison, man. Like I am absolutely not really a phone addict, and I wake up in the morning and it takes me 3 hours to clear my WhatsApp messages, and I need it clear in my brain, and I have to go through it all, and it's the key to my success, right? Like I'm now sitting on a $500 million empire or whatever, but it is work and it is anxiousness. And even when you're driving your nice car, your phone's going off and you're like, oh, it's on the phone, and part of you wants to stop and check it. It is mind poison. I can't deny it's mind poison. but it's also super useful and it can be done. And
It's business too.
it's
Yeah.
fighting is meditation.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just work to
Yeah.
do. You know, like it's only fighting. I love driving as well. I've
Yeah.
become, since I've retired or since I've stopped fighting, I've become a car addict. So I have like 28 supercars. I like racing around tracks and stuff. Or I live in one of the primary reasons I live in Eastern Europe is because it's amazing to drive.
Well, and it's something like fighting is such a scary thing. Driving fast is also puts you in that flow because you can't really be.
You can't make
thinking about-
mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. So I like to play chess, but I struggle to focus for long games. I play slower games. But yeah, to a degree, it's all about discipline. And what you said earlier about happiness is so utterly, completely true. The whole idea of happiness, I think, has been misconstrued to the populace, especially to men. And this is why so many people label themselves as unhappy, because they're trying to find that giddish, childish happiness they had when they were a child for basically no reason. And I don't think it works that way. I think as a man, the only way you're going to be happy is if you do shit you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You have to make yourself happy by looking at a mountain and going, fuck's sake. And then getting to the top and going, thank God that's done.
Yeah.
There's no other way to do it. You're not just going to be happy by default. You have to go through pain. And if you're not prepared to go through pain, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
And it's also the way you label yourself. Like, I truly am, like I said, I don't believe in things that take power away from me. And people wake up and go, oh, I'm not happy today or otherwise. I believe happy can be quite binary. Instead of looking at it as a scale, I think unless you're distraught, unless you're genuinely about to cry your eyes out because of loss of a family member or something, unless you're distraught, which hopefully doesn't happen very often, then you're happy. You may be slightly less happy than the other day, but you're still happy overall. Like, as long as nothing bad has happened, you have to wake up and go, okay, I'm alive. My people around me
It's a
are alive.
mindset.
It's a happy day. It's a mindset. It's a happy day. Okay, I got stuck in traffic, whatever, but it's a mindset. But you're completely right about going through difficult things. And obviously as a fighter, you know that very well. And even now, people say to me, Andrew, why don't you just take your money and just retire and just chill? I'm like, I'd be miserable.
Yeah, just chill. Sit there.
I need to be, maybe I'm not fighting in the cage. Now I'm fighting the Matrix and all the social media companies. I can't stop. I need something to go against. It's just like some men are born that way. Otherwise.